Agriculture in India, Part 1. Agriculture in India will always be a core subject for any competitive exams, be it state or UPSC examinations. Agriculture dominates overall socio-economic life of the country because the majority of the population still depends on agriculture. Though agriculture contributes a very small percentage, that is 20% of our GDP, failure of agriculture by monsoon spells devastation for our large section of our population. Agriculture in India, therefore, has a multi-dimensional aspects in India's socio-economic life. Therefore, it is important to know the basic features of agriculture, such as the share of population and the labor class which is dependent on the agriculture, the contribution of agriculture to the GDP of the country, important crops, farming methods, the productivity, the allied sectors and their contribution, the important statistics of agriculture, the green revolution, irrigation and important multi-purpose projects in the country, and this way we will know the problems and prospects of the country in a nutshell. To begin with, as we know, more than 58% of rural households still depend on agriculture. The share of agriculture and allied sectors, that is, agriculture, livestock, forestry and fishery, was only 16% of gross value added. That was during 2014-15. It was based on 2011 and 12 prices. It showed the low productivity as such. But India is the largest producer and consumer and exporter of spices and spice products. That is an outstanding feature of our Indian agriculture. We are in third position in farming and agricultural outputs in the world. Agricultural exports of the country are only 10% of our total exports, but it is the fourth largest exporter of principal commodity, and India ranks second in the farm output. However, international comparisons show that average yield in India is very low, as much as 30 to 50% of the highest average yield in the world as compared to other countries. The states of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, West Bengal, Gujarat and Maharashtra are our main agricultural producers. Agriculture and allied sectors contribute about 20% of our GDP. Agriculture in India still remains a subsistence in nature. That is, farming on small piece of land for family members for themselves. It is not a commercial, profitable operation for most of the farmers in the country. There has been increasing pressure of population on agriculture, and major role in the agriculture in India is played by animals, and they are used in various operations like plowing, irrigation, threshing, transportation, etc. even now. Now, dependence upon monsoon is the biggest factor of our Indian agriculture for its success and failure. Monsoons in India have been uncertain, unreliable and irregular many a times. Indian agriculture is also marked by it because of the varied types of topography, relief, climate and also soil conditions. Because of the large population, there is a predominance of food crops, and the food crops cover 2/3 of our total cropped area. Because of this, insignificant place has been given to fodder crops, and ironically, India is home to the largest population of livestock, that is, cattle and sheep. Indian agriculture is marked by three major crop seasons, namely Kharif season, Rabi season and Zaid season. Crops which are native to India are rice, sesame, cotton, sunflower, cucumber, eggplant, banana, mango, pepper, tea, cardamom, and citrus fruits. Crops which were introduced into India were wheat, maize, grams, jute, potato, carrot, cabbage, spinach, soya beans, watermelon, tobacco, mustard, cashew, coffee, rubber, sapota, guava, custard apple, walnut, papaya, apple, etc., etc. In a nutshell, let us try to put the problems of Indian agriculture. Indian agriculture farms are small and fragmented. Small farmers dot the rural scenario. Poor seeds quality, poor manures and inadequate manures, poor irrigation, lack of mechanization, soil erosion, etc. are the major problems that can be listed in a nutshell. Now let us see the highlights of the Indian agriculture, the main features and figures. Our net sown area is about 145 million hectares. All India average consumption of fertilizers per hectare is nearly 100 kilos. India is the third largest producer and consumer of fertilizers in the world after China and USA. Importantly, India ranks first in the milk production and fifth in the egg production in the world. Uttar Pradesh is the leading state in canal irrigation and it is followed by Andhra Pradesh. Ragi is an important crop in South India and is known as a buckwheat. 66% of the world's total jute production comes from India, from Bengal and Orissa. India is the second largest producer of sugarcane in the world, that is after Brazil. India is the third largest producer of natural rubber and that is next only to Thailand and Indonesia. India is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables. India is the largest producer and consumer of tea in the world. In onion production, Gujarat ranks first and is followed by Maharashtra and Karnataka. This figure is important because the onion availability has always been a subject matter of consumer interest. The highest yield of wheat comes from Punjab and that's followed by Haryana. Green Revolution in India has been one of the key development since independence. Green Revolution means agricultural experiments which happened from 1965 onward. The basic elements in the method of Green Revolution was continued expansion of farming areas, double cropping of the existing farmland, using seeds with improved genetics. And in a nutshell, the Green Revolution can be summarized as consisting of 12 components. 1. High-yielding varieties of seeds, irrigation, use of fertilizers, command area developments, land reforms, rural electrification, improved farm mechanism, use of insecticides and pesticides, consolidation of holdings, supply of agricultural credit, rural roads and marketing, and finally establishment of agricultural universities for the purpose of research and development of high-yielding varieties of seeds and also introducing a new farming methods. Now, Green Revolution has impacted the economy and the rural population in many ways. The major impacts, there has been an increase in agricultural production, which has brought a prosperity to the farmers, and the imports of food grains have also gone down. Capitalistic trend in the farming, and with this there has been a plowing of the profit back into the agricultural operations, and it has also impacted the industrial growth connected with the rural based industries, and rural employment has increased. Green Revolution has also been accompanied with many negative impacts. The demerits of Green Revolution can be listed as the intercrop imbalances, where the cash crops dominated and destroyed the other important crops which were necessary for the subsistence in the rural areas. Regional disparities developed over a period of time, wherein states like Punjab and Haryana, where the Green Revolution was successful, within these states remained undeveloped. The best examples are Rajasthan, northern part of Karnataka, many parts of Bihar, Orissa, etc. There has been an increase in interpersonal inequalities. There has been a growth of rich farmers, and the many small farmers have been rendered. There has been a disparity in the rich and the poor farmers, rich becoming richer, farmers becoming poorer. There has been an increasing unemployment in many parts of rural India. Now let us come back to major crops of India. In this we will list out major food crops. Major food crops are rice, wheat, maize, jowar, ragi, barley and pulses. Cash crops of India are cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco, oilseeds, groundnut, linseed, castor seed. Plantation crops are tea, coffee, rubber, spices, cardamom, chilies, etc. Irrigation has always played an important role in Indian agriculture, including the Green Revolution, and it is going to be the major factor in the prosperity of the Indian agriculture. 70% of India's population still depends on agriculture and allied sectors, as said before, and India gets almost all its rainfall during the rainy season from June to September. But the rainfall is not uniform. Rivers get flooded in the rainy season and damage the live property and the crops. In this scenario, irrigation happens to be one of the major means of eradicating the dependence on rainfall, and the means of irrigation that have been evolved from the old times are tanks. They are the oldest means have been irrigation. Deccan Plateau and the states of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are dependent on tanks. 12% of agriculture land is in fact irrigated by tanks in India. Now wells are also major source of irrigation. The wells are those where the rainwater flows down the rivers and streams and water gets soaked by the soil and collects on the hardy rock bed under the soil. Then the water is brought to the surface in the form of wells, and these are known as artesian wells. The wells provide the drinking water as well as the water for irrigating. Now tube wells have been the major source of irrigation in the recent times, and this type of irrigation facilitates the 40% of agriculture land in the plain areas. Most of the irrigation in Gangetic Plain or the northern fertile plain is dependent on tube wells. Places like Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal are dependent on tube well irrigation. Now canals. Canals have been a means of irrigation for almost 40% of agricultural land in India, and the major states which depend on canal irrigation have been Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and northern Rajasthan, which are connected by the major rivers. Dams after the independence, multi-purpose dams after the independence have become a major source of irrigation in many parts of the country. They are built across the rivers to hold the water, and river collects in the form of a lake. And the northern as well as southern parts of India have many dams. We will see some of the important dams. and these dams are also used for a hydroelectric generation as well. Now, the multi-purpose power projects also are the major irrigation projects, and there are as many as 600 projects, big and small, in India, and these multi-purpose power dams and power projects control floods, store water for irrigation, and they also generate hydroelectric power. Further, the lakes behind the dams also are used for the fish rearing, tourist resorts, and also boating is done in the lakes. The major multi-purpose power projects are Bhakra Nangal, Damodar Valley Project, Hirakud Dam, Nagarjuna Sagar Dam in Andhra Pradesh, Krishna Sagar in Karnataka, Farakka Barrage and Pulang Dam, Theen Dam, Tungabhadra Project, Kosi Project, Sone Canal Project and Rajasthan Canal Project. Now, let us see briefly the important features of major projects. Bhakra Nangal. It is built across river Satluj at a place called Bhakra in Himachal Pradesh. It is the highest dam in Asia and the second highest in the world. Govind Sagar Lake is the biggest man-made lake in the world associated with Bhakra Nangal. Nangal Dam. It supplies water to Bhakra Canal, in which water carries to Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan fields. This canal is about 1100 kilometers long and the length of its distributaries is as much as 3000 kilometers. Hirakud Dam is across river Mahanadi in Orissa and is the longest dam in the world. It is built for the prosperity of the Orissa, and it controls floods, supplies water for irrigation, and also generates hydroelectric power. Damodar Valley Project. Damodar was the most prevalent river in Bihar. But with this project, there has been a control of floods, production of electricity, supply of water for irrigation to Bihar and West Bengal states. Tungabhadra Project. Tungabhadra is a tributary of river Krishna, and the project is built on Tungabhadra. The electricity and the water for irrigation for Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh are the major purposes served by this Tungabhadra project. Kosi Project is a project on river Kosi, which is a tributary of the Ganga, and it benefits Bihar and also our neighboring country Nepal. One of the major environmental issues that is associated with the major hydroelectric projects is this loss of land under forests and also the forest land, fertile agricultural lands, also the villages and towns and the population that is affected by these projects. As a result, the environmental movement has grown to a large extent, and it was started by Sundarlal Bogana, and presently it is Medha Patekar is the leading environmentalist who is protesting against the construction of big dams like Tehri Dam and Narmada Project. Project.